Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Redmen TV. I am your host, Errol Smith, and we have just witnessed second half FC, aka Liverpool, beat Luton 4-1, and we had to do it the hard way yet once again, ladies and gents. Coming back from 1-0 down after about 12-13 minutes in, Liverpool started the better side, had a couple of big chances that we wasted, and then Luton sucker punched us early doors. And it felt like it could have been one of those nights. It felt like it could have been sliding doors, and it could have been an uphill battle as we edged towards the title and that title running. But again, as we've seen so often with this team this season, this squad of players, they are built different. Dan Club said it before as we wrapped up on the watch along. They are built differently. Mentality Monsters 2.0. They've proven worthy of that title once again. But I am here for your post-match fan interactive. So thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining us. And I'm going to jump straight in to some of your comments. We've got... Who are we going to do? Yeah, here we go. Got a comment coming in here, and it's a second half performance, absolutely top tier. It was such a big win. Yeah, it really was. It was a crucial win for us today because we've seen City getting the job done, grinding out results. That's what they're capable of. We know when it comes to the business end of the season, they don't mess around. They stand on their business, and more often than not, they are going to put 3 points on the board, which means Liverpool have to reply in kind. We have to be on point, and we didn't make it easy for ourselves. As I've already mentioned, we struggled in that first half to really make it click in the final third, but in the end, the hard work, the endeavour, the desire from the lads, it paid off. And as he's just said there, great point that we have become second half FC. Got another chat here that says, this weird and disjointed scoring spree they're on won't last. Do you know what, though? I'm not so worried about that, because if you deep it, all five of our forwards, albeit the fact that Núñez, Salah and Jota are currently unable to play for Liverpool, they've all achieved over 10 goals so far this season. So that's between five, that's 50 goals just from your forward line already. So we've always had the firepower. But what was impressive tonight was goals were shared amongst the team. You know, all the front three that get put out, makeshift as it might be, all got on the score sheet. And the captain gets on the score sheet as well. So we've still got goals throughout this team. And again, once they click into gear, they are such a difficult team to get the better of. Yeah, another comment here. We've says Cody is class, and he certainly is. He really is. His celebration was so cold, ice cold celebration from Cody Gakpo this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got someone else that says, let me just clear that one. We've got another one says, at Errol, this team might be special. To be honest, this team already is special. This team is not the finished article yet, but what they've gone on to do, we've seen the nearly teams that Jurgen's built at his time in Liverpool feel special, but they've been nearly teams, and we can understand what players Alisson, Van Dijk, Fabinho, what players are really going to be needed to take us to that level. This team, as it is, could be that. They could be the finished article in 4 months' time, or they could be looking ready to go for a title next season as the full complement. So make no mistake about it, this Liverpool team aren't going anywhere. As long as we can keep the core of this team together after Klopp leaves, and as long as we can keep them fit for long enough periods next season, Liverpool will be there or thereabouts again. Let's head over to Twitter. Let's see what the Redmen fans are saying over there. Yeah. Tim Murtaugh says, if we go into it, he says, those first 15 minutes of that second half, wow. Yeah, we called it. We knew that we didn't really have the options off the bench. It looked like a bit of a threadbare squad, substitute bench. There was more defensive strength and depth than there was any real attacking threats to really go to change the game. So We expected Klopp to do some sort of tactical tweaks and maybe keep an eye out for Chris's deep dive in the week if he touches upon it. Maybe he'd touch on the final, I'm not 100% sure, but it would be worth going back to see what did we do differently in that second half. What did you notice differently? If you know, let us know in the comments. Let me read them out to you. Let's get some of your thoughts and feelings on the table, because it was chalk and cheese. We couldn't make anything click in that first half, but in the second half, we looked so much more threatening. The set pieces were better. The deliveries were better. We was getting to the byline. The fullbacks were getting engaged. The passes in the final third were the right passes at the right time. And we was more clinical. Look at the goals. 4 goals in the second half. Far more clinical from Liverpool there. It was absolutely. Who else have we got? Dan... He says, funnily enough, that was our most dominant performance in weeks despite all the talk before the game. Some crucial confidence-boosting goals for the front three, and most importantly, a valuable 3 points. On to Sunday we go, and one final personal shout-out for Bradley, who was class. Yeah, he really was, Conor Bradley. And I think the biggest compliment that we could pay him tonight was he gets substituted off around the 70-minute mark. Gets a massive round of applause from the Anfield faithful, and it's almost a sure nod to the fact that you will be starting on Sunday in the Carabao Cup final against Chelsea. And considering he probably was hoping to get into the team, break into the team, Europa League games, some Carabao Cup knockout games early in the season, to say that he's going to be there and part of that final and lining up there at Wembley is a huge, huge moment for the young lad. And he should be very proud of all the work that he's put in, and everyone in and around to get him to this point should be very, very proud of the way that he's turning out for this team this season in particular. Mark says, fabulous, keep the pressure on with half the team out. That's it. You say that you've got that strength and depth. You've got another set of lads there that you can count on. All of them want to be stood up and want to be counted. All of them, come the end of the season, want to have special moments that they can all feel proud of. And they've all contributed to whatever success that Liverpool go on to have between now and the end of the season. Certainly, absolutely. Thank you very much for the comment, Mark. And the Anfield voice says, massive win for the Reds. Unbelievable scenes at Anfield. Defied the odds despite the injury crisis and being behind, and Klopp's men showcased incredible resilience, turning the tide with determination. Never write us off. This is Liverpool and Anfield's magic at its finest. It certainly is. And we're going to need more of them nights. That's not the juice. It wasn't a performance where we had to really dig deep in the well. We knew we had to come out and play a lot better in the second half, but we was in control. It never felt like the game was slipping out of our grasp. It was always in Liverpool's control. And a lot of credit's got to go to Luton, because they're in a relegation dogfight. They played some good football against Man United on the weekend. Probably felt a little bit unlucky to not pick up a point. They didn't start the game brilliantly against Liverpool, but to the credit, they go in and bloody our nose once again, which is the second time they've done it this season. But they scored too early for me. When they scored that early, it felt like it was too premature, and it was only a matter of time before the pressure that we was going to turn the screws was going to heat up. And I said to Dan, if we can score a goal before the 60th minute, they'll crumble. And we got 2, and the wheels completely fell out the back end of it. So it was good to see from Liverpool today, but credit to Luton for showing up and playing their part. Rachel says, I can now come from behind the couch with a turnaround. That was, it really was. It was a special turnaround again, Rachel. And this Liverpool team have done it again, yet again, showing that we are, as Jay says with this comment, outstanding from the lads, the mentality monsters. We certainly are. Got some super chats there that I do want to read out. So thank you very much for everyone that dropped in a super chat. You know where to find us. We are live on YouTube now. Go make sure that you do follow the Redmen on the socials. Go make sure that you do watch all of the post-match content as well. Redmen Plus is going to have some post-match content for you. There'll be the player ratings, and there will be the instant match reaction with Steve O'Hare and Dan Club. Make sure you do go follow your boy on socials as well, on Twitter, Solitaire Side Up. There it is. We've got this chat here, super chat. Oh, I'm getting rid of it. And it's back. Given the injuries and what's at stake, I think this is both a signature win for the club and also a signature captain's performance for Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, big shout out to Virg. Man like Virg coming in clutch tonight. Jurgen's post-match reaction would seem to support that. No, absolutely. I think Virg really stepped it up. And looks like Veronica has put in a super chat as well. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat, Veronica. Hope you enjoyed the content this evening. She says, well done, lads. Second game in a row that 4 different players have scored the goals. Bring on Chelsea Sunday. Yeah, we can now, we got 24, 48 hours to relax, and then we can start really focusing and bringing you a lot of content for that Chelsea Carabao Cup final. But thank you very much for the super chat again. Got another super chat here. An immense performance again. Man of the match today, Diaz ? Interesting. Let me know in the comments if Diaz was your man of the match or who you feel was man of the match. Get involved in the player ranking show that I'll be going to be doing in a couple of minutes as well. I'll leave you some of my thoughts for who the potential man of the match and if worthy shouts for that may be. But if Diaz is your man of the match today, I'm not going to knock it. Diaz deserves a lot of credit, to be honest with you, because I thought sometimes, you know, when your luck's not in and you feel like everything you're trying just doesn't come off and you're working too hard and just keep it simple, stupid. And in the end, we did that, and he pops up with a vital goal to really rubber stamp the fact that the 3 points were safe in the bank. John O'Connor with a £10 super chat, or €10, do apologise. Says, to be top of the table after 26 games following the relatively rubbish season we had last year is only to be enjoyed right now. What will come of that? What comes will come, but that's a really good season so far. You never walk alone. No, I couldn't agree more. And I think a lot was said about, you know, the players in that respect. They kind of had a very similar mindset that, you know, they needed to go again this year. Really find something to fight for, and we was fighting for it before the Jurgen Klopp news broke, and we was in a healthy position then. And I felt like, you know, if we got to end of January, I didn't expect the news to come out, I'll be honest, but if we got to the end of January and we was within touching distance of Arsenal or City, or we was, you know, out in front, which we are, I did feel like the older lads, the lads that have been there and done it before, would pull some of the younger lads, some of the hungry guys coming through the door, wanting to make a name for themselves and wanting to make that step up in the impact and say, look, we can do this. If we put a 10-game run in between now and the end of the season, we'll be there or thereabouts. How much do you really want to pour into the tank? And obviously Jurgen's news gives us that extra impetus, but this side look hungry. You know, everybody from back to front, they look hungry, ready for it week in, week out. And the Carabao Cup will be interesting to see how much they really want to pour into that. But it's a shootout, a final. Anybody can win it, but I'd back us to really turn the screws on Chelsea once again. Let's see what other chats we've got. Who's that in the chat there? Someone says something about... Errol, I love your hat. Thank you very much. Big up yourself. Appreciate it. Who else have we got in the chat? We got Charles says, yeah, that second half was great. I think we can all second that, really. I think the first half was... We can gloss over the first half now. All is well because we have won. That's a funny comment, bless. Errol, will you marry me? Sorry, I can't do them things. No. But thank you very much for the love. We love you back too. Great show. And yeah, Nos here, great comments here. Says, so happy that Endo is back. 2 quality performances in a row. Certainly is. Endo has been absolutely phenomenal. I think he's come good for us this season. A lot was spoken about Endo, his price tag. You know, he wasn't the Caicedo, he wasn't the Lavia. Definitely wasn't the Jude Bellingham. But he's come in and he's impressed, because he was under the radar. We didn't know what to expect from him. He was an unknown quantity, but what he has delivered for this team, what he has contributed has been invaluable. We do look defensively a lot more, a lot more solid. We look like we can soak up a lot more pressure, and he can play a ball as well. He's in it to play a ball, and the way some of the balls that he sprays forward and he can just knock the ball around the corner, playing it into lads so they can run on it, playing it into the strong feet. He's really good at doing that, and I think it's a really underrated tool from him, if I'm being honest with you. Andre says, Anfield really carried us tonight. The best fans in the world, as usual. Bring on Chelsea. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to need those fans again when we go down to Chelsea. I know this is the post-match content for the Luton game, but I think everybody's mind's probably already fixated on the Chelsea fixture coming up at the weekend. But yeah, the crowd, the energy, that passion, it really does drive this Liverpool team. It gets us. You see what it means to the likes of Harvey Elliott when he pops up with a goal. He celebrates like a fan on the pitch. Like, how sick's that? How boss would it be to play for your boyhood club and then be able to score goals that keep you top of the league? You'd be bouncing. So he must have done about 10 different celebrations, and I rate every single one because I'd be the exact same. So 100%. Let's see if there's any more comments, because we will be moving over to the player ranking soon, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you do stick around. We've got John Conor. Yeah, we've said that, we've seen that one. Thank you very much, John. Do appreciate that again with the €10. Motor Sir Ali, he says, I think we were just unlucky with that Luton goal in the first half. It could have gone anywhere after the bounce off Kelleher. We weren't that bad in the first half. At least 2 of our chances could have been goals, and that would have been another one. Yeah, I think that's true, to be honest with you. You know, the first half, I said it a couple of times, we weren't a million miles away. It was in the final end, and final third, when you need that clinical edge, that can be the difference. And Liverpool fans all over the world will know that this league will be won yet again on fine margins. But if we keep dispatching teams like that, it's in our hands. We're in control of where this title ends up. If it ends back up, doing a massive parade all around the city of Liverpool, it's because this team have been able to do it, and this team have pulled us through. So I am with you on that. I don't think the first half performance was that far off it. We just needed to turn up in the second half, and by God did we do that. Someone says, hey Errol, scintillating second half. Hits different when the youngsters play like maestros. However, it must be noted that Big Virg is just on another level. Yeah, absolutely. I had the privilege and the pleasure of bumping into Virgil van Dijk the other week, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen that already, I'm sure you'll check that out across socials at some point. But yeah, he is a legend, living legend, and he is a monster of a man as well, to be fair to you. Like, you don't want to get on the wrong side of Virgil van Dijk, and when he's flying in for an absolute bullet header and he shrugs man off him, you just want to get out the way. So yeah, and that's what you want from a captain. That is what you want from a captain. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, there are still plenty of comments flooding through. I will try and get to some more comments as I head over to the board, so to rank some of the players. So make sure you stick around with your boy. I've got you covered. Redmen have got you boxed for all of your post-match content. As mentioned, check out the Redmen TV and Redmen Plus, because Dan Club and Theo here will be going through their player ratings and the instant match reaction. We will have plenty of content from around the ground as well, from the likes of Paul, Chris, maybe even Steve. Steve might pop up feeling in a good mood. I know he took his lad there tonight, so I hope him and Lucas had a really good evening down at Anfield. And from me to you, this is the Redmen. Up the second half, Reds. We love to see it. Peace.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the content today. If you want to get your name in and amongst these wonderful people, then head to redmenplus.com. Join as a Legend tier subscriber. You're going to get free merchandise codes. You're going to get in our Discord, and you're going to get your name at the end of YouTube videos. Yes, redmenplus.com, Legend tier status.